Welcome to Leo for Leos. This is a channel featuring intuitive tarot readings for the astrological sign of Leos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a Leo as well, so this reading is for us both. Cross-watchers and fellow readers are welcome. However, I do want to give you a heads up that I read the cards as I see them and not always the way it's traditionally done. Let's get started. Today I'm going to be using the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. And we are going to be reading for December 2022 for my Leos. Let's see what we can... Oh, already. Hanged Man. Okay. We're going to do 4 cards like we did last time. Loving that layout. It just seems like... And just for you other readers out there, I always read the cards upright. Ooh. These cards just flew out today. So, wow, we had the same result from October with this Queen of Pentacles. So it looks like another financial growth month for us. And even if it's not about like your bank account, it's more like whatever it is, whatever business you're doing, it is growing, it's getting more notoriety, you're getting the opportunities to make more money is opening up to you. So let's just gonna shuffle a little bit more to start at the beginning over here. Move this that way, it's not so much of an eyesore. All right, so the Hanged Man. Usually the Hanged Man talks about a purgatory period, a period in which we will need to reassess what we're doing and kind of nestle a little bit in our thoughts. Maybe it may even be a day of self-care, a weekend of self-care, maybe a week off, not necessarily a vacation. This, but something where you're kind of like, look, I am done with work for right now, and what I want to do is like reassess what I need to do. And from that resting period, you may come up with great ideas. You may come up with something brilliant during that time. Let's look into the Hanged Man a little bit more. Okay. It comes from making a decision or needing to make a decision. And let's look into what that decision may be. I need 2 cards. Okay. All right, so the decision is going to be either to keep a secret or to proceed forward with something. It may be, and it may be both, but doing this behind the scenes and doing this one up front, like letting everyone know what you're doing. So this decision is like, should I do this behind the scenes or should I do it out front and in the open? Because the King of Pentacles is definitely a card of definitely someone who is out front and center. It is a person who is very much a king. This could also mean someone who is maybe in your life or maybe entering your life, who is very knowledgeable about something that you are working on and deciding whether to confide in them and ask them for their advice on business matters. Oh, all right. So this is all in the service of getting more money in your hands. It is a financial decision. See, I didn't really even decide to make this about money, but it is coming through loud and clear that for a lot of Leos, money is on your mind, and handling your career. So whatever your decision is, I think you couldn't lose on either decision that you make, honestly, because it's almost like if you take your time and think about it. Let's go back to the beginning. If you take your time and think about things very seriously and carefully, you're going to come to the correct conclusion. It may be a little bit of both. Maybe you might confide in somebody but ask them to do it in secret. So it is, you know, something that you will have to think about. It's not a decision that you're going to be able to make in a day or just kind of do it fly by night. You're going to have to you're going to have to sit down and really think about what you're doing, what the consequences are, if there are any, and also what there is to gain. What there is to gain from doing this. Okay? So we're moving on. We have the Seven of Swords, which is a very interesting card. It can be read so many different ways. And just as a confirmation, I am going to get one other card to help me out here. Okay. So this is definitely about protection. Leos, protect yourself against any kind of thing that maybe you're not paying attention to. I know that sounds very vague, but if you're like security, like your computers, who you give your passwords to, beware of theft, beware of putting down your purses in certain places, beware of where you put your wallet and who sees what's inside your wallet. Okay? Beware of your passwords and who has them and who has access to them, and you know where you put your passwords, things like that. It's just a security thing. It's not. Let's see how. Yeah, it's definitely something to look out for. Definitely something to look out for. And someone may even try to prey upon your sense of need and desperation and say, oh, well, in order to get this, you need this thing. This can also cover purchases. Purchases that you think are legit and like, oh yeah, I need this particular thing in order to do, you know, this or to make money and to do that. Just be very aware of what those things are, what you'll have to give up if they're like, oh yeah, well, we're going to need your social security number for this. No. If just, you know, just sort of make sure you're on high guard in December. Okay? Just, that's the warning coming from, oh wow. Yeah. And this is about something that has been in the works for a while, and it's kind of coming. It is definitely coming, but Leos, now that you know, you've heard this, you're just make a note to definitely stay on high guard about your personal stuff, your personal belongings, your personal information, all of that stuff. Your email address. Don't click on anything that has your, don't click on any emails that you don't know who the person is, and even for some people that you know. So just be aware that there's a lot of things that if something looks fishy or concerning, put a pause on it and ask your friends and like, hey, did you send me that email? Just to verify. Yeah, that is something that's been in the works for a while. It's just like ticking down until it's finally ready to spring on you. So I'm sorry about this. A lot of people say I always have like great news in all of my readings, and that it's always positive, but that's what I'm reading here. And I hope that you Leos out there are protecting yourselves, and myself included. I am definitely going to be on the lookout for that. Listen, if you see anything from me online that says, hey, get a free reading, or all you have to do is enter your credit card, don't listen, because I don't do personal readings. So that's and watch out for stuff like that. Watch out for things like that. All right, so let's move on to the Hierophant, which is really about, it could be two things. It could be something to do with an institution, or it could be marriage, or a commitment, right? A commitment of some sort. Okay, so we're getting a union between you and another person. It could be an actual marriage. It could be an actual partnership in a business setting. And it could be also a friendship that has a new friendship that has been like born. So it's very interesting. We have the two people here. We have two people here. Focused in on the institution where they are committing themselves to. Very, very interesting. Relationships. So in this act of this friendship or relationship or union, you're leaving someplace else to go somewhere better. So this is like moving into a better placement from where you are. So it could even be like physically moving. I mean, moving in December is kind of a tricky thing, especially if you're in a snowy state. But if you're in a warm area, that's no problem, right? So it could be moving, like moving into a boyfriend's place, moving into a girlfriend's place, moving together into a house. It could be getting married and then moving into the house together. It also could be a business partnership, and oh, I'm so sorry. There's some kind of crazy noise that's happening. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pause the video and come back. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to take a break there because the noise was getting to be really out of control, breaking my concentration. So where we were that this union is a commitment that you make to someone. It could even be a group of people, or even I won't say a cult, but like a small faction of people. It could even be more than one person. But whatever is happening is that you are making a commitment that is going to change, that you're hoping is going to change things for the better, or help things end up in a better place. Let's see what else. Queen of Swords. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is about really hunkering down and cutting out, editing what is going on in your life and what is going on in your workload. So this commitment may mean that you may have to cut yourself off from some of the other things that you may be doing. You know, it may be changing something entirely, or like maybe every evening you go somewhere, but because of your commitments, now you have to stay into the strict kind of schedule. And now you can't do all the things that you used to be able to do because it's changed now. Okay, so there's a charging forward with whatever plans you've got going on here. And this is like from coming out of like this dark period and moving into this period of like taking the reins of the situation and doing something about it, getting somewhere. Okay. Let's see. All right, and this is a risk that you're taking. It's a risk that's happening here. But it's a risk you are, you know, well aware of and willing to do. The High Priestess, following your intuition. These are all good things. Following your intuition. Do your own research too, you know, but Judgment. So this is trying to usher in a new time period, a reawakening of sorts. So there should be a feeling of something brand new happening. We have this brand new thing happening in November, but also now another brand new thing happening in December. Okay? Let's move on to the Queen of Pentacles with all this growth that's happening. So this is very interesting. The growth is really from, again, going away from something, moving away from something. So this thing that you're moving away from is something that you've spent a lot of time with. You've spent a lot of emotional energy on. Oh, and there's going to be some remorse for doing that. There's going to be some remorse from doing that. But there is the sense of winning at all costs. You know what the cost is of winning, and you're willing to take that risk. You're willing to take that risk. Yeah. You're ready to win now. You're ready to win. And you don't care about the cost of it. You don't care what it costs. And we have the Page of Cups, right? And the Page of Cups is really talking about using your creativity in a way that just using your creativity in these matters, right? Just using your creativity. Also spreading the word, maybe talking to someone, maybe expressing it, but definitely feels like you're not going to be silent and keeping that how you feel in a quiet place. You definitely want to talk to people about this. And maybe it could even be launching something. A creative project, launching a creative project, or making it known to people, maybe some changes. Maybe you're going to change things up, change your channel, or change your product, or change your business method. Something is changing here. And then we have this wonderful card here about the legacy that you want to have for your business. And this is, this is possible now because of the changes that you're making. Because of the changes that you're making, it is definitely making it possible for your legacy to be great. So, yeah, Leo, I think December's ups and downs, but on the most part, I think it's good. Again, I told you that I don't, tell you all good things, but I think we have to use this information very wisely, as to just drive it really home again, is to make sure that you're very protective of your things and keep everything on guard. So beware of anything that seems unusual, strange, and doesn't seem to make sense with you. Something odd, unusual, things that peek up. Use your intuition, and I think we can protect ourselves from this kind of thing. Also, like even with money in the bank, like maybe spread your money out a little bit. That just came to me because sometimes, if you have money in checking, maybe you could put some things in savings, and that could, so if something happens with your ATM card, right, you can, they won't take everything. You'll have something in savings. So I really want to thank you so very much for watching, supporting, and subscribing. If you haven't done so, please consider it for Leo Intuitive Tarot readings. And be sure to hit the bell icon to be the very first to know when my next video gets posted. Many blessings to you, my awesome Leos. And remember, this channel is for you and you alone.